If you're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's going to be best for you and not what somebody told you to do. And that's when all bets are off, man, because you're about to enter some uncharted waters that's going to force you to challenge yourself to be perfect in so many ways. And shoot for perfection is all good.
Well, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it better than your mind. People wake up in the morning, they begin to think about their problems. Those problems are circuits, memories in the brain. Each one of those memories are connected to people and things at certain times and places. And if the brain is a record of the past, the moment they start their day, they're already thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion. Emotions are the end product of past experiences. So the moment they recall those memories of their problems, they all of a sudden feel unhappy, they feel sad, they feel pain.
Because we are wired to like what is familiar and to resist what's unfamiliar. And the most important thing to make familiar is praising yourself.
You have no idea of the breathtaking future that's on its way to you, that's asking you, please let me through. When you decide that you are good enough, when you decide you give yourself permission to have it all, have all the love, have all the health, when you give yourself permission, it's like the inside of your champion is saying, let me out.
You don't shoot for average, because you're not gonna hit all the time. If you shoot for perfection and you hit good or great, you're winning. You have to make adjustments to achieve your goal.
Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. I'm saying be radical enough, be outrageous enough, be unapologetic enough to hold fear in one hand and passion in the other and leap anyway.
The people that you most admire, the people that have achieved at a level that you want to achieve, they are no different than you. They simply know what they want to become, and they're paying the price to get there. That's it. Right now, between me and the person I want to be, between you and the person you want to be, there is a gap of skill set, and that's it. But once you know your mission, and once you believe that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, then you can do the extraordinary. Now for me, getting out of that space of being lost, of not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, it all came down to needing to earn credibility with myself in very small incremental ways.
Everyone has got three things wrong with them. Number one is I'm not enough. The second one is I'm different, so I can't connect. And the third is I really want something like freedom from depression or success, but it's not available. All of those things come from a feeling of emptiness inside because we're taught, oh, you feel a feeling? Why don't you eat some donuts or go onto eBay and buy, or Amazon, or have a drink? And our feelings are the most real thing we have. And we push them down. We find all this stuff to buy or eat or drink or take to keep us, like John Lennon said, comfortably numb. But then the feelings regroup and come back because they've always got a job to do.
Now, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So the person's entire state of being when they start their day is in the past. So what does that mean? The familiar past will sooner or later be predictable future.
Fear is an emotion like any other emotion. Fear is an emotion like love, like compassion. Fear is an emotion, we just gave it more power. Compassion, oh, that's nice. Fear, ooh. We gave it a meaning. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is a story that you've told yourself about something that might happen in the future.
It was about changing my identity. Because at the end of the day, identity and values drive behavior. So if you want to make a change, you have to change your vision of who you are. You have to begin telling yourself a different narrative. And the narrative you tell yourself about yourself is everything.
We keep firing and wiring those circuits, they become more hardwired. So you have a thought and then the program runs. But it's the emotion that follows the thought. if you have a fearful thought, you're going to feel anxiety. The moment you feel anxiety, your brain's checking in with your body and saying, yeah, you're pretty anxious. So then you start thinking more corresponding thoughts equal to how you feel.
You've got to feel the feeling until it no longer requires to be felt. You can't eat it, or drink it, or shop it away, but we're all taught that we can and should.
When you want to do something in your life, you don't put options out there. You don't put a B plan. This is what you want to do. You commit to it. Because as you become successful, people will have definitions of who you are and also proclaim your level of success for what you should be accomplishing.
We have to begin to start living for something that's meaningful. We have to start living for something that has the capacity to not just impact our lives, but the lives of other people. Because human beings long for connection. We don't want money, we want connection. We want belonging.
Most people then wait for crisis or trauma or disease or diagnosis, and they wait for loss, some tragedy to make up their mind to change. And my message is, why wait? And you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. And I think right now, the cool thing is that people are waking up.
If you keep it simple, you can find your voice. And also know that you operate off short-term goals. When you don't know where you're going in life, do not look 4 years down the line. Do not look 2 years or a year. You look next week, next month. You keep your goals short. And that way, as you accomplish those goals, then you can start piling up little trophies or little moments to know that you're actually accomplishing something. You're actually climbing the steps to success. And so I always tell people, shorten your goals, shorten your window, and that's how you find your voice.
Once I switched my narrative to being the learner, it didn't matter where I started, it only mattered where I was trying to go. And as long as I had that clarity, then I could execute, because I believed I could do anything I set my mind to without limitation.
Turns out most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress, so they're always anticipating the worst case scenario.
We want to finally find a place where we fit in this world. The only problem is that we don't fit in the world. Because if you're fitting in the world, you're not able to make the difference that you're here to make. It means that you've been dumbed down to a point of operating in the same way every other member of the herd is operating. At that point, you become completely ineffective. This is why you are suffering. So you are weird for a reason. You care more about your self-image than you do about living in the truth of who you are.